4 adult audiences and a mini audience. Okay. Welcome. Thank you for coming. I'd like to talk to you about an article in the Economic Journal entitled Police Response Times and Injury Prevention. According to them, a 911 call, typically to a violent crime, the response time is typically about 15 minutes. Police rarely are able to stop violent crime from occurring, and more or less show up after the fact to document the scene. With that being said, I don't think it's a wise idea to outsource our safety or that of our loved ones solely to an outside authority. My name is Josh Margolies, and I want to talk to you today first about taking the responsibility for yourself and of your family and getting your Texas license to carry. And I also like to talk about the training that comes along with the class, as well as some of the benefits of having a Texas license to carry. A little bit of background about me. I was in the military for a few years, 22 to be exact. 15 of those years I was a weapons and tactics instructor as well as a small arms instructor. I'm currently a firearms instructor on the civilian side, and I own a small firearms training company. First, I'd like to talk to you about the reasons to take responsibility for the safety of yourself and your loved ones. According to Supreme Court case, the Shawnee versus Winnebago, 1989, the Supreme Court ruled that the government and its agents do not have a constitutional duty to protect third parties from harm. Police essentially have no constitutional duty to protect civilian populace under the law. Texas courts follow the same sentiment. Texas statute 2.13 of criminal procedural articles state that peace officers generally have a duty to preserve the peace, nothing about saving you or your loved one's lives. That same interpretation, the legal backing of having a Texas license to carry, and its formal training in the use of force and deadly force in a self-defense scenario, under Texas law, you are legally justified in using force or deadly force to protect yourself, third parties, due to reasonable intervention if immediately necessary, according to Penal Code Chapter 9 of Texas law. Now that you understand a little bit more about taking the safety of your family and yourself into your own hands, I want to talk to you about the training that you'll get from instruction during the Texas License to Carry course. First, you're introduced to state and federal weapons laws and the use of safety with a handgun, as well as storage laws. You're introduced to the concepts of force and deadly force and when not to use them. But most importantly, we discuss nonviolent dispute resolution. The cost for a course is around $50, give or take, which is exceedingly lower than where it's been for the last 10 or 12 years. The class itself is about 6 hours of in-person instruction, or 4 hours through a self-paced, approved online provider, like Hill Country Firearms Training, LLC, hcfirearmstraining.com, where you can get these classes. To pass, you'll have to complete a 25 multiple choice or true or false question test, written test, and then conduct 50 rounds of live fire from a distance of 3, 7, and 15 yards. 70% is needed to pass each of those events. Now that you know about some of the stuff to obtain your license to carry, let's talk about some of the benefits to having that license. First is you're able to carry in many other places that constitutional carry states or constitutional carry citizens cannot, including college campuses to some extent, as well as within a school zone while in your vehicle, which is handy if you ever get pulled over and you're carrying, you're not breaking any laws as long as you have your license. There are plenty of other places that you're able to carry if you have your LTC, including small businesses that don't allow constitutional carry, as well as many other places. Another benefit, you're entirely exempt from the standard background check when buying a firearm from a licensed dealer. You've already gone through a background check to receive the license, so you don't need to do another one and another one. And if something ever happens and you get your license taken away, they'll know that, so you'll still have to do a background check. And finally, Texas LTC is recognized in 37 continental United States. The reciprocity law is growing. The list is only getting bigger. And for all of these stats and facts, please refer to the Department of Public Safety website under the handgun licensing tab. With that being said, again, my name is Josh Margolies. Today, I've talked to you about the responsibilities, taking the responsibility for the safety of yourself and your family, and obtaining a Texas LTC. Talked about the training that comes with taking the class, as well as the benefits of having a Texas license to carry. And with that, I'll leave you with this. The benefits have never been greater, the affordability has never been easier, and it's never been more user-friendly. And knowing that law enforcement, federally and state, have no obligation to protect you from violent attacks, I encourage everyone to go through the training and obtain your own Texas license to carry. And you can do that at hcfirearmstraining.com. Thank you. And I want you to remember, you are always your own first responder. Thank you.
Yay!